Yadei Shorchat Karpas Yachat. Okay, by now, if you've been following these videos, we're up to the highlight of the Passover Pesach experience, Seder night. Now, of course, we asked the famous question, why is this night different than all the other nights? And this year, my friends, it really is going to be different for a lot of us, and if not all of us, because we are going to be doing this, if not totally alone, but definitely not in our regular setting. It's a big Seder experience of family and friends, but it's definitely going to be different. Hopefully by now, you've cleaned your house, you got rid of the chametz, you got your kitchen ready, you got everything ready, you learned a little bit of Passover, and now you're ready to sit down to the Seder. But what do I need for the Seder? How do I do a Seder? So the first thing to know is, come Sunday night, join us together, the entire YEHUDI family. We're going to run through a mock Seder so you could get a first-hand experience of how to do your own Seder. But prior to that, what do I need? What show and tell items, so to speak? What experiential items do I need for my Seder? So first and foremost, you got to dress for success. So you come to your Seder, you can get a nice white kittel like the one I'm wearing, or you could just dress in your holiday finest. You're free. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. Wear something nice. Get dressed up for the occasion. It is a holiday, so that's first and foremost. Now, of course, one of the main ideas of Seder night is that we sit like kings. So, of course, for that, what do you need? A nice big pillow, of course, that you're going to be able to sit and put behind your chair. Hopefully, you have a nice big chair. And when you're going to drink that wine and eat that matzah, you're going to lean to your left and you're going to sit like royalty. So, but in order to have a proper Seder, to have a great Seder, what you need is called the Haggadah. This is one of many Haggadahs. This is going to be your guide. They have them in English, they have them in Hebrew, they have them in every language. Whatever language it is, this is going to be your guide. It will explain to you step by step by step what you need to do, from the 3 matzot to the 4 kosos, to the 4 cups of wine, to the meal, to the bitter herbs. It's all going to be in the Haggadah. Now, what do you need actually for the thing? So first and foremost, you need a Kiddush cup, right? A classic cup. It could be a glass. It could be any type of this non-disposable cups. You use that. Of course, you can't leave this empty. You got to fill this 4 times. What do you need for that? You need one of these, some grape juice or some wine. So next, of course, you need on the table, and we'll explain to you how to set it up, everything beautifully. Of course, you need on the table some delicious matzah. It could be handmade matzah like this, or you could get some square machine matzah. That's available at any kosher store or most public supermarkets. You for sure can find some grape juice. You definitely can find some matzah. So that's easy. Now, you could have, of course, as is tradition with Passover, everyone has a Seder plate. Now, you do not need a Seder plate. It is a nice thing. If you have one, you do not need one. But nevertheless, a Seder plate is dear to have on display everything you need for the Seder. Next, you're going to need some of this. This is romaine lettuce, which is eaten as the bitter herbs, as the moror. Or, if you're brave enough, you could get hold of some of this. Now, this is not a turkey leg, my friends. Not a dinosaur leg either. This is horseradish. Delicious, straight, fresh horseradish. You grind this up, and this will give you a real experience of what it was like in Egypt. Next, of course, we have on the Seder plate is in remembrance of the Korban Pesach. We put a shank bone, or I don't have a shank bone, so we got delicious kosher chicken wings. You take a chicken wing, you roast it a little bit. That goes on your Seder plate as well. We put an egg that's commemorating and remembering the Korban Chagiga, a different sacrifice that was brought. You take an egg, you roast it a little over a fire until it gets a little roasted. You put that on your Seder plate. And lastly, we have the dipping parts. So, of course, this night is different because we dip twice. So what do we dip? The first thing we dip is at one point in the Seder, as you'll see in your Haggadah, as you go through the experience you will take this maror and you'll dip it into charoset, which was a symbolic of the cement that the Jewish people used to make. Now, it does not taste like cement. Any of you who've had charoses before know that it's a lot of people's favorite part of the Seder. Here we got a nice, beautiful little charoset. As you can see, we bought this in the kosher supermarket in Miami Beach. You could find it in any kosher supermarket, charoset. And lastly, of course, we have the karpas. Now, karpas is when we dip a vegetable into the salt water to remember the tears of our ancestors through the hardships of the slavery in Egypt. So, for karpas, a lot of people have different customs. Some people use potatoes. That's what I use. I don't have a potato available, but I do have a carrot. So you can use a carrot, or you can use celery, radishes, many different things people dip. And of course, what do they dip it into? They dip it into salt water. And that, my friends, pay attention, is the most complicated part of Seder night. For that, you need a little bit of salt and a little bit of agua, H2O. You mix it together. It doesn't have to be Zephyr Hills, and this is not an endorsement. You mix it together, and you get salt water. And of course, the main part of Seder night, after the matzah, after the maror, after 2 cups of wine, we sit down for a lavish holiday Yom Tov feast. So make sure you cook a nice dinner. Of course, you can't have any bread in it or any grains. Down, have a nice lavish feast in honor of the wonderful holiday. Celebrate being a free person. And of course, Pesach cannot be complete, and your Seder cannot be complete without some good old Stritz's macaroons. Original flavor, my friends. Do not go for the fancy stuff. Oh, sorry. This is actually Toffee Crunch. But plain macaroons, those are the way to go. Happy Passover to you. See you at the Mock Seder. And if we don't, wishing you from our family